Swing and a miss, strike three. Deep to center field. This ball's crushed.
Dallas Keuchel getting ready for a home start at Minute Maid Park to kick off a weekend series against the Oakland A's. The Astros splitting the first two games of this homestand against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The A's come in 15 games under 500 in last place in the AL West. The Astros continue to pace the way with the best record in the AL at 74-47. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another night of Astros baseball. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Sandwiched right in between these interleague series in this homestand, Blummer. They're back in the division with the Oakland A's.
Yeah, they play well inside the division. They're comfortable, and they've got a team here that they usually play pretty well against.
It was good to see the old Dallas Keuchel return in his last start.
Absolutely. We love seeing Dallas Keuchel go out there. We heard just before that start against Texas that he had a very good bullpen session, and then he proceeded to go out there against the Texas Rangers and prove that he felt extremely good. It was a little bit different in the sense that we didn't see so many changeups. He was primarily fastball slider, but you can still see highly effective, able to locate down in the zone, working well with Brian McCann. It's great to see him going deep into ball games. He has 94 in the third innings right now, looking to push past that 100 mark.
When Dallas won the Cy Young a couple of years ago, his numbers at home were outstanding, and he's putting up impressive numbers again this year.
No, he really is. This is some place we talk about comfort. Yes, you're playing against the A's. Yes, he has good numbers against them. Yes, he has good numbers inside the division, but here there's unrivaled as far as pitching here at Minute Maid Park. Since 2014, 27 wins, 11 losses, and an ERA of 2.33.
Wow, those are impressive numbers for Dallas Keuchel inside Minute Maid Park as we get you ready for baseball. When we come back, Bart Ennis will talk to you about how Oakland used to be a team the Astros never liked to face, but lately the tables have been turned.
Astros and the Oakland A's just about ready to kick off this weekend series here. Astros 8 games over 500 here at home and looking to give the home faithful something more to cheer about. And they should be able to get that done when you look at this Oakland team and the way they are struggling this season. And it's a far cry from what happened back in 2013 when the Astros originally made the switch to the American League. And in our Shiner Light Blonde Spotlight, you see what is going on. Back in 2013, it was the A's who were a dominant, veteran-laden team with playoff aspirations, and the Astros were a bunch of young guys trying to get it figured out. Well, they have flipped this script coming into this game. The Astros have now won 17 of the last 19 head-to-head meetings dating back to July 20th of 2016. And it is the Astros now who are the veteran team looking for a possible World Series berth, and it is the Oakland A's who are trying to figure out which of their young players has a future at the big league level. They've now dealt all their big veteran players like Sonny Gray and Yonder Alonso. They're all gone. And now the Astros will try to take advantage of a team that is the worst defensive team in the majors. They've committed 97 errors. Their team ERA is 4.77. That's tied for 5th highest in the majors. So that's a pretty brutal combination right there. But the Astros know you still have to go on the field and get it done out there. As A.J. Hinch likes to say, Astros haven't won anything yet. They got to keep the pedal to the metal. And winning series like this will be an important step toward getting that done. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. Dallas Keuchel getting ready to go against the A's. We'll have starting lineups and first pitch. Astros A's from Minute Maid Park right here on AT&T Sportsnet.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Whataburger. The burger you've been craving is back at Whataburger. The sweet and spicy bacon burger now an all-time favorite. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Big and bright Friday night. Big crowd gathering tonight for the Astros taking on the Oakland A's. A lot going on this Friday evening as the fans get ready for the first of 3 against their AL West opponents. And Dallas Keuchel pitching back at Minute Maid Park. Keuchel's corner in effect, and also some solid outings here.
Yeah, big Friday here in Houston. Obviously having Dallas Keuchel back, and what we mean by back is back after pitching a great game in Texas. He is back in the friendly confines, and who would have thought Minute Maid Park is a hitter's ballpark, but Dallas Keuchel was not pitched that way. You can see he's very effective down in the zone, utilizes that defense. When Dallas is going very good, he is pitching down the zone and doesn't let the ballpark affect him. He goes out there with command of the fastball down Good job with the changeup, and if that slider is working like it did last time against Texas, he should be in good shape. And here are some of the numbers in the last 3 years. Obviously, that Cy Young year of 15-0 was very much appreciated by a lot of the local fans, but struggled a little bit last year, but got back in form here in 2017. And he is healthy and coming off a great start against Texas.
There is Dallas Keuchel getting loose and getting ready to throw his first warm-up pitch. His numbers on the season had that winning streak snapped. It reached 11 going back to last year. Lost a couple in a row coming off the DL, but then a big win and a start in his last outing against the Texas Rangers. Here's who he will face today for the Oakland A's. Bob Melvin's lineup looks like this. Rajai Davis will lead off in center field, followed by Marcus Semien. Jed Lowry with that .274 batting average, the highest of the A's. Chris Davis, the cleanup hitter, has hit 33 home runs on the year. Ryan Healy plays first base. Chad Pinder is in right field. Matt Chapman will get the start over at third base. Matt Joyce will be the left fielder. And Dustin Garneau, just acquired from the Colorado Rockies, bats in the number 9 spot. Behind Dallas Keuchel defensively, we see Josh Reddick playing left field as Jake Marisnick gets a start, facing another lefty tonight. That pushes George over to right. Alex Bregman and Marwin Gonzalez on the left side of the infield. Jose Altuve and Yuli Gurriel on the right side of the infield. And for the first time in Dallas Keuchel's career, he will make a start with Max Stassi behind the plate. Stassi did catch 1 inning of a Keuchel start in 2015. But he has never been the starting catcher in a game that Keuchel's worked. As Rajai Davis, coming in with a .239 batting average, will lead things off. When the Astros were doing so well towards the end of May, building up their lead to double digits at the end of the month, that was the same time the Oakland A's were falling into last place. And neither one of those trends has stopped. The Astros continue to be leading the AL West by double figures, and the A's have been in last place since the 28th of May. Dallas Keuchel starts off Davis with a swing and a miss, and we're underway. Gets the called strike at the knees from Jerry Lane, the crew chief behind the plate. That's a good sign early for Dallas to get that call.
Maybe he read some of A.J. Hinch, some of his remarks from after yesterday's game. Figured he might as well call a good zone, keep A.J. off him.
There's a ground ball towards third on one big hop. Alex Bregman has it, throws out to Speedy Davis. And just like that, Dallas Keuchel gets a ground out after getting ahead 0-2.
Well, early on, this is the Dallas Keuchel we like to see. And our AT&T pitch usage is going to show you what he did in his last start against the Texas Rangers and what he's done on the season. Got very heavy on the fastball, got heavy on the slider / curveball that he does have. He's shown better command. It wasn't really jumping out of his hand as far as the curveball is concerned. Had much sharper break, better command of it down in the zone, therefore laid off that changeup a little bit.
One thing we saw in his 3 starts coming off the DL was he did not have his pinpoint command. And we did see that return in his last start.
Yeah, for me it was command, and it was also a little bit of velocity. He just did not have the confidence when he was attacking the zone. That changed last start.
Dallas pitched an average of 4 innings per start in his first 3 outings back off the DL. Part of that was a limited pitch count, and part of that was Dallas was throwing an unusually high number of pitches per inning. For him especially, he's normally a guy that we saw in the mid-13s early in the year. Now he's around the high 14s. But he got back to pounding the zone and went 6 2/3 innings and kept everything that lower third quadrant of the strike zone against the Rangers. Right back to Dallas. He makes the play after he missed it initially, but Dallas is usually very sure of himself on the mound as the 5th infielder, and he makes the play for out number 2.
Always in good position to field, knocks it down, doesn't panic. That's probably the biggest thing. Makes sure he barehands it, makes a good throw.
Here's Jed Lowry. Mentioned he has the highest average on the team. The A's don't hit for a very high average overall, and Lowry coming in at .274. As a right-hand hitter, he's batting .253. A's as a team have been neck and neck with the Toronto Blue Jays for lowest average in the AL, both at .241. Now back, it's 1-1. By comparison, the Astros with the best batting average in baseball at .288, and a 25-point lead in the AL in that category over the Baltimore Orioles. On the ground foul, it's 1-2. Astros last saw the A's back in June in Oakland, a 4-game series from the 19th through the 22nd. Keuchel again, this one a little tougher chance, and he fields it with no problem. 3 ground balls to start this game. That is vintage Keuchel in the first. Astros starting lineup is presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer right back at the top of that lineup, hitting a .307 coming in, followed by Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Yuli Gurriel another start in the cleanup spot. Marwin Gonzalez will play shortstop. Josh Reddick gets a start in left field against the lefty. You can see what he's done against his former team this year. Carlos Beltran is the DH. Max Stassi behind the plate, and Jake Marisnick in center field batting 9th.
Sean Manaea, the left-hander, going for the Oakland A's. They do have experience against each other. He has a 1-2 record against the Astros in his career with a 2.13 ERA. He's only given up 1 home run, and Evan Gattis hit it. Unfortunately, he's on the DL, but in the month of August, it has not been good for Sean Manaea. He is 0-2. He's only pitched 6 2/3 innings, giving up 21 hits and 13 earned runs.
Starts off George Springer with a strike. Manaea facing the Astros for the 4th time this year. Springer coming in with that team leading 28 home runs and a team leading 70 runs batted in. On the ground, tipped on the glove of Manaea, and that deflects towards the shortstop. The throw is wide, and George a great evasive slide. Marcus Semien had the play, and his throw sailed wide, and George was able to avoid the tag at first base.
I didn't realize we were going to be able to reinforce Bart's story about the bad defense behind Oakland pitching so early in the game. An early error, but a phenomenal adjustment on George Springer. It's good to see him pop back up. Sometimes with these late, immediate movements, you can find yourself in trouble. But on our Mattress Firm Supermo camera, you see the tag missed and George getting the hand down.
So here's Alex Bregman on the early error by the A's. That is error number 99 on the year. They have had 10 consecutive seasons where they have made 97 or more errors. They have been consistently near the bottom in the fielding percentage for the last 3 or 4 years. Bregman fouls one out of play.
It's a rather dubious honor, but they have been going through young talent here recently.
Upstairs, 1-2 the count.
The Astros do not have a very good batting average against Sean Manaea at 207 coming into this game. They'd like to turn that around and keep beating up on Manaea here in this month of August.
There goes George. Good jump. Bregman with 2 strikes had to make sure that wasn't strike 3 and fouled it back.
Manaea has a good pickoff move, but just in watching George, he's getting a pretty healthy lead over there. Kind of makes you wonder if they've picked up on something, having watched Sean Manaea out of the stretch the last couple of years.
He does have as big a lead as we see from George, and he'll get a throw over there.
Now that we've got a minute, we're going to take a look at our Ford spray chart. Brought to you by your local Ford dealers, and it's Alex Bregman. The extra base hits have been scattered to left field and center field. Shooting those gaps and piling up doubles and some triples.
Gets a strikeout of Alex Bregman for the first out in the first inning. That'll bring up Jose Altuve.
First inning and second inning have been the issue for Sean Manaea. He's allowed 34 of his 69 runs this season in those first 2 innings.
He already matched his total number of outs he picked up in his last start. He lasted just a third of an inning against the Baltimore Orioles on the 12th and allowed 6 hits and 6 runs. Altuve takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Springer reached on an error by Marcus Semien, then a strikeout to Alex Bregman. Semien playing in his 48th game with his 7th error. He had 35 errors a couple of years ago and then 21 last year, so he's been improving steadily for each season. Big power hitting shortstop. Altuve comes in with 49 multi-hit games, but he has not fared well against Sean Manaea. He's 3 for 17 in his career. Former said not many guys on this team have good numbers against Manaea. Outside, 2-1. Strike called. Just outside and low, ball 3, and the count's full on Jose Altuve. 25-year-old Sean Manaea started the game against the Astros back in April in Oakland and went 5 innings and did not allow a hit in that game. He did walk 5 batters. There goes Springer, and he is picked off. Healy to Simeon, and Simeon's going to make the tag. So Sean Manaea, who now has 4 pickoffs on the season, picks off George Springer.
It's a 3-2 count. You see him trying to read the pitcher, Sean Manaea, but he shows him a good move and picks him off.
Into center field, Rajai Davis is there, makes the play for the final out of the inning. So after a leadoff runner with the error, the Astros down. Astros and A's scoreless. Dallas Keuchel against Sean Manaea. A couple of lefties tonight. Evan Gattis on the DL, but still celebrating a birthday with that young fan.
It's a good thing.
Chris Davis leading things off. Davis with those 33 home runs. 86 runs batted in, tied for second. Jerry Lane calling that last one a strike. It's 1-1. Well, both Evan Gattis and Brian McCann on the DL. The Astros anticipate that Brian McCann may not need any sort of rehab assignment. They hope he's ready right after the 10-day DL stint. But they do think that Evan Gattis may require a little rehab assignment, if for no other reason, just to test it out, make sure everything's good with the concussion. If he takes a foul tip near the mask or on the mask, see how he handles that before he comes back to the big leagues. But both those guys are on their way back, and that's good news. But in the meantime, as you look at Brevin McGaddis,
they do everything together.
They go on the DL together.
Catch together, go on the DL together. I wonder what McCann got him for his birthday. Beard trimmer? A new axe?
They gave each other the same gift. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. But in the meantime, without those two guys, Astros still have Max Stassi and Juan Centeno, guys who have been in the big league since 2013 at various points.
Yeah, it's nice to have those guys, even though they are relatively young. They've got that experience in the big league, so they're not going to be overwhelmed. Good ball club to join, too, if you have the opportunity for those two guys.
Good guy for Centeno to sit next to also. Carlos Beltran as Dallas Keuchel picks up a strikeout of Chris Davis. Davis third in the league with his 159 strikeout, and Dallas has his first tonight. They absorb everything he says. Carlos Beltran always watches with, oh, there's Carlos Correa too.
It's a Carlos convention. Got him surrounded.
Good to see Correa back and continuing his return from the DL. Ball bounces in there to Ryan Healy. It's 1-0. Healy batting .378 his last nine games. Has that average up to .262. Struggled against the Astros this year and has struggled against Dallas Keuchel in his career. Although Dallas misses outside, it's 2-0. Dallas making his 15th start against the Oakland A's and has a lifetime ERA right around 2.5. First batter, he's really fallen behind. It's now 3-0. Healy with 21 home runs. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Astros happy to have back-to-back night games. It's been a strange schedule this week. Night game on Monday, day game Tuesday. Night game on Wednesday, day game Thursday. Now finally they have back-to-back night games. Tomorrow will be 1 hour earlier in start time than the normal afternoon Sunday contest to wrap up the weekend series. And a day off before the Washington Nationals are in town. 3-2 pitch on the ground. Diving stop by Bregman. Gets up to throw. Picked by Gurriel. Usually it's only 2 outs. Even though it was a great play, you can't get 2 on one batter. But that was a great play by Alex Bregman.
Do it, A. Breg. Ranging to his left, laying out full extension. That was beautifully done, and be able to get up and make a good enough throw that Yuli thought it was the third out of the inning. That was great. Hardest thing about laying out early in ball games like this is after they've just soaked the infield, as you get up with that muddy palm. But Alex Bregman didn't phase him one bit. Made a pretty good throw, and Yuli picked him up with that pick on the short hop. That was nice.
Yuli's had a couple of issues with outs the last two games. Last game he thought the inning was going to continue on a double play ground ball when it was really the third out. Today it was only out number 2. He started to head to the dugout. I'm sure he'll hear some little ribbing about that after this inning. Chad Pinder the batter. What a play by Bregman.
Might be overshadowed by the fact that everybody in the dugout was yelling in the box after Yuli started to run towards the dugout. That means he's going to be fined in the kangaroo court.
There's a foul ball at the plate. It's 2-1. Keuchel so far has 4 ground balls and 1 strikeout. And a great play by Bregman on that last ground ball at the bat of Healy. Early in the year, we saw Alex go back and forth a little bit between third and short. And then A.J. Hinch felt like he wasn't as consistent with his play at third, so he kept him at third. And Marwin played the majority of shortstop for the middle of the season. But lately, he's been comfortable with Bregman going back and forth between third and short, and it has not hurt his play at all. He's been excellent defensively at both positions. He'll get another chance here on the high chopper. Off balance throw. Now Yuli can head to the dugout, as that is the third out.
Alex Bregman picking up Dallas Keuchel. You got to be active when you're going to get a ton of ground balls, and that was a great play.
Todd and Blummer, we're talking about guys on the DL. Well, earlier today, lefty Tony Sipp and right-handed reliever Will Harris both throwing to live hitters before the game. Looked very good. Carlos Correa out there running bases, taking some ground balls. Evan Gattis was one of those guys out there taking swings. So A.J. Hinch knows he is very close, guys, to getting back to full strength. Correa will be a while, but everybody else is getting very close.
Yeah, it's good to see. Will Harris was on the mound. Tony Sipp was on the mound. There's a ground ball base hit by Yuli Gurriel to start the bottom half of the second inning. First hit of the game for either side. Yuli, a clean single to left.
It was a busy day here at the ballpark before batting practice for A.J. Hinch, the training staff, Brent Strom. A lot of interest around those guys that are going to be bouncing back here pretty soon. And trying to get back in that lineup and get things right before they have that playoff push there in September. It's got to be very comforting to see those guys out moving and doing some simulated baseball activity.
You saw Correa standing in for that live BP. He wasn't swinging today.
No, he was not going to swing.
He was just tracking baseballs from Tony Sipp and Will Harris. But we did see Evan Gattis in that video take a hack, so he is looking close to coming back. And really, Correa is still way ahead of schedule. They originally were guessing 6 to 8 weeks, but from all reports, he's going to be on the short end of that time frame.
Oh, to be young.
Yeah, right.
Bounce back, respond to treatment like that. Enjoy it while you can.
And the Astros normally would be cautious with their 22-year-old star, but even more so this season with a big lead. They're not going to push him back until he's absolutely ready.
Well, I almost feel like the team is in disbelief that he's bounced back as quick. The doctors are trying to convince them, no, he's actually ahead of schedule.
Every report on Correa has been a positive one in his rehab, and he is ahead of the most timelines. Very similar injury that we saw with Mike Trout of the Angels earlier this year.
Didn't seem to affect him when he came back.
Which is a good thing, because that bodes well for Correa. No lingering effects for Trout. He played a game in the minor leagues 5 weeks after his surgery, and then was in the big league 6.5 weeks after the surgery. 5 weeks for Carlos would be the end of next week. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Carlos got hurt on a Monday, had surgery on a Wednesday. Pop in the air. Shortstop Simeon is there. He's the only one near the baseball and makes the catch for the first out of the second.
It's time to play, and it's presented by Toyota. Josh Reddick facing his former team. He's actually got some pretty good numbers as far as revenge ABs against his old team. Moving away from the Oakland area into Houston and endearing himself to these home fans. In 10 games against Oakland, a .419 average with 5 RBIs, 1106 OPS. Yanked a pitch out of here the other day for a home run. But between his numbers against the A's and his numbers here at Minute Maid Park, should be a pretty good homestand for him. But he's also done a very good job for me against left-handed pitching, hence the reason he's probably in there tonight.
Yeah, this has been his best year by far against lefty pitching in the last 3 seasons. The A's didn't always play him against left-handers, and then when he went to the Dodgers after that deal, he did not play at all against left-handed pitching. So coming into the season, that was the question. In spring training, though, one of the big storylines for A.J. Hinch was how much would we see Josh Reddick play against lefties, and we're seeing him a whole bunch. Just hit a home run against a lefty for the first time since 2015. And he continues to hit lefties well. This one was popped into the air towards the on-deck circle and out of play. Dustin Garneau is the new A's catcher, just acquired from the Colorado Rockies a couple of weeks ago. Josh is at .301 this year against lefties. This is a tough lefty.
Yeah.
Drops down,
Yeah, a 3/4 sidearm delivery. Heater in the low 90s, that sweeping slider.
Although during this little stretch where he has struggled, lefty started the year 0-53 against them first 10 starts. Since then, they're hitting .351 against them his last 12. Generally, he can be a tough task with that delivery down low. Josh stays alive at 1-2. Just underway, Athletics and Astros, first of 3. Astros in the middle of a 3-team, 8-game homestand. This will be the only American League team they face during this homestand. Diamondbacks just left town, and the Nationals come in next Tuesday. High fly ball to right. Chad Pinder is there. Puts it away for out number 2.
A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Two outs, runner on first, and Carlos Beltran the batter. Beltran coming in with a .245 batting average, .202 as a right-hand hitter. Carlos has had his share of struggles against Manaea, 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Both leadoff hitters have been on for the Astros tonight. George Springer reached on an error in the first, never moved off first. Yuli Gurriel led off this inning with a single into left field, and so far he has not moved off first either. George would eventually be picked off by Manaea. .3-0 the count to Carlos Beltran. Max Stassi waits on deck.
I really feel like that's the mentality of the Astros right now, is to be patient against Sean Manaea. Saw Jose Altuve take a bunch of pitches until he got into that 3-2 count. But coming into this game, only pitching 6 2/3 innings in 3 starts in August. He has walked 4 hitters and only struck out 2.
There's a strike to Carlos Beltran. It's 3-1. He had a big lead to work with the first time he faced the Astros, but walks, and then the bullpen gave away that lead in a 10-6 loss in Oakland. Now it's 3-2 to Beltran. Ball 4 outside. Gurriel on the move with a full count at 2 outs. So the Astros have 2 on. That's the first walk issued by Manaea. One thing Josh Reddick talked about after the game Wednesday with Bart Ennis post-game is how he really feels the Astros are at their best when they're putting a lot of pitches on the starter and working at bats, because he said they've been able to get to most bullpens this season.
I know you and I agree with that.
It's an interesting lineup in that for 2 guys with Altuve and Gurriel back to back, you've got very aggressive hitters that don't see a lot of pitches per plate appearance, but the rest of the lineup can really put a lot of pitches on a starter. On the ground towards third. Play made to second, the fielder's choice. And that'll do it for the Astros. 2 left on. We head to the 3rd. The 1997 National League Central champion Houston Astros this weekend, as that was part of a nice run, 97, 98, 99, and a part of that run. Shane Reynolds, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
What's it like being back here and having the 97 crew honored over the weekend?
It's good to see a lot of the players come back, to be honest with you. It's forever ago, it seems like. It's a long time ago. But it's fun to see the guys just talking to Blummer. We played together in 2002, and it's just we hadn't really seen each other since. So getting back and talking about it, we were up to the suite earlier and reminiscing, and it was the first time that we had won a division since '86, so 11 years span there. And I know it was great for Biggio and Bagwell and the core guys that have been there for so long. You know, it was just an awesome feeling.
Pop up on the first batter, Matt Chapman pops up to Marwin Gonzalez.
Enjoy it. Check out the monitor. This is Shane Reynolds getting after it in 1997. What were you throwing back then? Fastball, split, curve?
Yeah, a little bit of each, I guess. Fastball here, a split finger there every once in a while.
So you actually pitched, obviously, in the Astrodome, but here at Minute Maid Park.
Yes.
Where would you rather pitch?
Astrodome. You know that. Okay, let me ask you a question. Where would you rather hit?
I would rather hit here at Minute Maid Park any day of the week.
You know, the Astrodome was awesome, though. I'd be honest with you. I started my career there and played the majority of it there, and it was a pitcher's ballpark. And there were some for the Astros. There was a lot of history there, and we won some championships and played some good baseball there.
Against the shift, Matt Joyce is going to bunt, and he keeps it fair just inside the bag, so he is a one-out base runner. First hit of the game for the A's. Shane, you were here with the Astros from '92 through 2002. Did you sense that something special was about to happen when you started that '97 season?
You know, being with that group and staying together with them for as long as we were able to, we thought things could happen. We knew that we were good enough getting a piece here, a piece there. We got Moses Alou, you know, that year. We got Randy Johnson. I mean, they kept putting people in for us to do some special things. And I really felt like we were really close. You know, you play with two, you know, what I call for sure first ballot Hall of Famers. You know, those guys, and they're leading the way. And for a lot of us young guys, you know, coming up there with them, I thought it was an awesome experience. And we had some really good leaders in there also.
No, you guys built some good teams, and what you're referencing is that '97 was the first of back-to-back-to-back Central Division titles where they brought in some guys and kept them together pretty good. What was your most memorable experience in '97? Do you remember anything offhand or a stretch you guys were on?
Just winning it, to be honest with you. We had got there, and we were getting close, and you know, winning it and having that special feeling at the end of the game was awesome. And like you said, we were able to do it, you know, back to back to back, which you know, makes it even you know, better.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's very common these days. I mean, that was a unique stretch that you guys were on.
Yes, I thought so too. And I was looking at the banners up there today. I thought we had did the same thing in 2000. I thought we had like a 4 or 5 year stretch, but we missed 2000. I remember one year though, maybe it was 91. I thought it was 2000, but we clinched at the Cardinals, and I think they said it was a championship or something like that. I'd have to look at that. Somebody had to figure that out and find that. But I think that we won it outright. But I'd have to check the history books.
When you were going through that stretch there, you were making 35 starts, it seemed. 35 starts. That's a number you don't see guys make anymore. Was that something you took a lot of pride in, getting the ball every 5 days or 4 days?
To be honest, it was. And I think what helped us the most was Larry Durker. He took myself and Mike Hampton. There was also Darryl Kyle and Jose Lima, Chris Holt. He took us in there at spring training and said, "Look, guys, you're starting pitchers. Don't, 4th, 5th inning, you get in trouble. Don't be looking over your shoulder. I'm not coming out to get you." He said, "The best way for you guys to learn how to pitch is to, when you get in trouble, figure it out." He goes, "You're going to get beat up." He said, "But eventually you're going to learn how to get yourselves out of the trouble. And once that happens, it'll snowball." And then I think that's what happened. He left us in there. He let us pitch. We got comfortable. Also, I'd have to agree, pitching in the Astrodome helps. You get behind in the count. A middle fastball that they hit, 385 feet, 400, and they still caught for an out. That, as a pitcher, makes you feel pretty good. So I think we had a lot going on in that stretch where things really panned out and went well for us.
I thought it was interesting playing with you in 2002 because in the dugout, you're a pretty unique guy.
Oh, don't. You're not going to start all that, are you?
So I get traded in the spring of 2002, and Shane's first start at Minute Maid Park, I walk by, and the dugouts are a mess. There's seed, spit. It's a disaster in there. But there's one spot when Shane was pitching that was clean as a whistle, and it was right in front of you.
That is true.
I never asked you, what was the deal with that?
I believe I was a little OCD then.
A seed.
Same way with on the mound.
A shell of a seed would fall, and it was gone.
Same thing on the mound. If I was pitching and there was a guy pitching against me that day,
Good backhand play. Bregman on the move. He's making some solid defensive plays tonight.
Kick and play. He's a really good player. Good hands. I remember watching him play at LSU. He's a really, really good player. There you go. That's a tricky hop too, Blummer. You played there, Man. What do? You try to, You
just do or die.
Yeah, to do or die.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how hard it looks. And I've done the same thing. I watch on TV. A lot of times you watch these plays, and even watching them from the stands, people don't realize how good these guys are, how good their hands are, and how tough some of these plays are. They look so easy on TV. Extremely, extremely hard. That was a tougher play than what it looked like. He made it look easy.
No, the good guys make it look easy, but they are extremely tough. I appreciate you saying that. But you got to play with some good ones over there. Ken Caminiti, Sean Berry was the third baseman in 1997.
You were good. Yes. I did have lucky to play with some really, really good infielders. I think one of the best first basemen ever. He did some things that some first basemen never done. That's Jeff Bagwell. And he was honored for it, great for him. I thought he was, first ballot guy, but Biggio the same way, Craig Biggio did the same thing. We just played with a lot of really good players. No,
it was a good era to be an Astro fan and obviously an Astro player.
Yeah,
we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoyed
Shane.
it.
Great to see you.
Great. You're always good to see you,
Thanks,
dude.
Palmer.
Shane Reynolds.
Have a good weekend.
In the '97 championship, as we are continuing to honor them.
1997 theme. Let's look at our Chevy Stroh poll for this evening. We're asking you what name your best picture of 1997. A, LA Confidential. B, Titanic. C, Boogie Nights. Or D, Good Will Hunting. Go to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Let us know which one was your favorite. Boy, Shane Reynolds, guys, that I remember about him, he is a big man up on that mound. He was an imposing figure, wasn't he, Blummer?
No, he absolutely was. And having faced him, 99, 2000, 2001 until I got traded over, he was very intimidating on that mound, coming straight over the top. But he had a nasty split-fingered fastball. But a great teammate. He was a little OCD, but it was entertaining, and that's what some of those guys going through the mid to late 90s, they were just entertaining guys.
So he had an area of the dugout that everything else was trashed, and his spot was perfect.
Immaculate. And physically impossible to do that, but he found a way. Like literally a sunflower seed shell would find its way in that 3-foot space in front of him. It'd be gone in a snap.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Jake Marisnick leads off against Sean Manaea in the 3rd inning. Both teams with 1 hit through 2 for the Astros, 3 for the A's. As Marisnick will lead off, and then the top of the order. Back towards Manaea, who gloves it on a couple of hops. His throw is towards the runner, and a nice play at first base by Ryan Healy. Manaea didn't help his first baseman at all.
Those throws up the line always cause the first baseman a little bit of trepidation when you reach into the runner like that, but Healy did a good job of snagging it and giving way as Jake came through.
Cool view from left field as George Springer will bat for the 2nd time. He reached on an error, and then he was picked off his first time up. Shane was referring to with the co-champions was the Cardinals and Astros ended up with the same record in 2001. But the Astros won the head-to-head series, so they were the NL Central champions, even though the Cardinals tried to claim otherwise. One and 2 the count to George Springer. Hit hard. Springer can only flip his bat in frustration after he hits one very hard, but right at the 3rd baseman, Matt Chapman, for the 2nd out of the inning.
Connect to Astros baseball all season with MLB.com @Bat mobile app. Customize the app for the Astros and get awesome stuff all season by subscribing to @Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Download MLB.com @Bat today, the #1 app for live Astros baseball.
97 Astros ended up 84 and 78. Never had a big lead that year, just consistently between 1 and 6, maybe 6.5 games. Shane Reynolds, our guest, along with Chris Holt, Mike Hampton, and Darryl Kyle, all made 30 starts or more. Ron Garcia made 20 starts. And in the bullpen, they had Jose Lima and Russ Springer and Tom Martin, Billy Wagner. 2-0 to Bregman is hit pretty deep to right field, all the way back to the wall. This ball's gone. Alex Bregman, home run number 14, and the Astros on the board first, 1-0.
Bregman giving A.J. Hinch a look. On our M.D. Anderson strike zone, you're going to see where he gets that pitch to go Oppo Taco with. Up, out, over the plate. And the way Bregman has been swinging the bat, just lets it travel and drops the barrel on it and fires through it, launching it into the right field bleachers here at Minute Maid Park. That was nicely done.
Jose Altuve takes the strike. Bregman continues since July 4th with an OPS over 1,000. Nobody has more extra base hits since July 1st. And the Astros third baseman and shortstop Alex Bregman. Altuve a foul ball that will find its way into the crowd. 0-2 the count.
It's now his 48th extra base hit since July 1st. 29 doubles, 5 triples, now 14 home runs.
There was a while there he didn't have any home runs.
Yeah, late.
Wasn't until the Astros celebrated that weekend in New York with Derek Jeter having his number retired. Altuve in the left field. That ball's well hit. To the wall. Gone. Back-to-back jacks. Bregman and Jose Altuve.
Two guys that combined for the average height of a normal human being have just gone back-to-back. Wow, that was just a hanging fastball. Altuve has almost shocked him a little bit the way he hesitated before he attacked that. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw that fastball laying over the fat part of the plate and drove it.
That was up in the air a long time before it landed about 5 rows deep in the Crawford boxes. Now Yuli Gurriel bidding for a hit. Shoots one just found on the third base line. Bregman hitting a 2-0 pitch out to right. Altuve hitting an 0-2 pitch out to left.
That might have been why he's surprised at the location of the pitch. He's got a new do. Went out today and got trimmed up for the team picture.
So did you.
Oh man, I needed to get tightened up. It was getting out of control.
Fouled back. It's 0-2.
Oh, show your payload. That's right.
Usually it's the guy that slapped him on the back that's showing off the payload.
True.
Gurriel to center field. Pretty deep but playable. Rajai Davis is there. Astros scored 2 on a couple of home runs.
Alex Bregman 101 miles an hour off the bat, followed up by Jose Altuve going 94 miles an hour off the bat, but plenty of distance for back-to-back jacks.
We head to the fourth inning with the Astros leading 2-0. Marcus Semien will lead things off. Dallas Keuchel only allowing the one hit so far through 3. Semien bounced back to the pitcher his first time up. It'll be Semien, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis 2, 3, 4 in this A's lineup. That is a strike. It's 1-1. Dallas continues to live low in the strike zone, and when he misses, it has been usually down. There is another beautiful pitch that started in at the hitter Semien and just drifted over the inside corner of the plate.
Yeah, we're seeing a little more of the changeup from Dallas Keuchel, but that was great movement on it coming back to catch that inside corner.
On the ground, Gonzalez. Another ground out for Keuchel, and there's one away in the fourth. Well, Dallas is picking up where he left off against the Rangers in Arlington. Won his 10th game of the year in that start. It was one of those games where, yeah, it was game 117 of the season, and the Astros do have a big lead in the AL West, but it was one of those games that they really needed, both for their sake as a team and for Dallas Keuchel's sake after 3 rough outings off the DL.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was one thing they had been reeling, especially that first time through that rotation where they were getting roughed up a little bit. Dallas Keuchel was starting that second time through that rotation, and he needed that bounce back start. He got roughed up by the Chicago White Sox in that series, but I think it was more for him mentally to prove that he was back, not only to the team, the league, but also to himself.
The Astros had started that road trip off 0-5 before Keuchel's victory on Sunday. And they needed Ken Giles to work 2 innings for the first time in his career at the back end of the bullpen to save that game. Bregman getting a lot of work over third tonight. That ball foul. And it's 1-2. 8 of the 10 outs so far have been ground outs. Dallas does have 1 strikeout as well.
It's always nice when you got a guy on the mound that works quickly. You know he's going to be down in the zone, and you can anticipate the ball. For me, it was Wandy Rodriguez. Every time I knew he was pitching, I knew I'd be on my toes down there at third base. He had a very good breaking ball. Usually you face a lot of right-handed hitters in those lineups.
Bregman's already made a couple of really nice plays in this game. One on a short hop and one a diving stop to his left. Lowry stays alive at 1-2. Jed Lowry, former Astro.
I love that Alex Bregman is playing deeper at third base. Allows him more time to see the ball. Allows him to almost play it like a shortstop and get his footwork right. We've seen him get around the baseball very good and create a good throwing lane going to first base.
Pitch bounces in there. It's 2-2. First trade when Lowry went from Houston to Oakland, one of the guys that came back in that deal is standing right next to him at home plate, Max Stassi. It was Lowry and Fernando Rodriguez for Stassi, Chris Carter, and Brad Peacock.
Thank you very much.
And then the Astros got Lowry back leading into the 2015 season. And then that offseason, after playing for the Astros in 2012 and 2015, that offseason Lowry was traded again to Oakland, and Brendan McCurry came back, and he's having a nice season for the Fresno Grizzlies out of their bullpen. This has been an extended at bat for Lowry. It's now 3-2, and this will be the 10th pitch coming up of this sequence.
A couple of veterans duking it out. Lowry has faced Keuchel the most. This is his 37th at bat.
Keuchel knocks it down, stays with it, and he makes the play. Then Lowry grounds back to the pitcher for the second time tonight.
Chris Davis come to the plate. We're going to take a look at his last AB going pitch by pitch. Chris Davis obviously a lot of power, but Dallas Keuchel also working very good down in the zone, getting that called strike from Jerry Lane. Changeup hung up a little bit, then he threw a good one, backing it up. Buried that one. Stassi did a good job, but not giving up on that changeup. Threw another one down in the zone with good action. He gets the punch out of Chris Davis.
Chris Davis back to Dallas, and he gloves it on one sharp hop and a lob to Yuli Gurriel to end the inning. Keuchel, the Gold Glover, fielding his position well. Josh Reddick will be due up against his former team. He'll bat second. Marwin, Reddick, and Beltran due up. Fourth inning, Astros lead the A's 2-0. A couple of solo home runs back-to-back last inning. It was Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Eighth time this year the Astros have hit back-to-back home runs, and it was the first time involving Jose Altuve. Somewhat surprising as Marwin Gonzalez takes a pitch down low for a ball. It's 1-0. Marwin popped up his first time up. It was the third time involving Alex Bregman. Strike on the corner. It's 1-1. Marwin batting .258 as a right-hand hitter this year. .311 overall coming in. Good for 5th in the American League. Minaya in his 3 previous starts here at Minute Maid Park had only allowed 1 earned run in 16 innings. That changed last inning with a couple of solo shots. That is a fastball for a called third strike. Marwin goes down looking. That is the second strikeout for Minaya and 1 out in the 4th. League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Sean Minaya among starters who have faced the Astros 2 times or more this year. He's been one of the best against the Astros.
It's kind of interesting that there are 3 left-handers on that list. James Paxton, Jason Vargas, and Sean Minaya.
Paxton has been unbelievable. The 3 starts the Astros have seen him. As Josh Reddick takes a strike, it's 0-1.
He is currently on the DL with that left pectoral issue.
It's been a weird month for Seattle. They were playing very well, only had 1 homestand in the entire month of August, and they were losing all their early games in that homestand. Finally won a couple late, but they thought they would make a little headway after having a nice road trip, but that wasn't the case. Up the middle, Reddick with a base hit against the lefty. His average over 300 continues against left-hand pitching this year as he's a 1-out base runner.
Beautiful job by Josh Reddick. He continues to take comfortable swings against left-handed pitching. That is good to see.
Here's Carlos Beltran. He walked his first time up. Reddick last year with the A's and then spent time with the Dodgers hit just 155 against left-hand pitching. Only had 97 at bats against lefties. This year AJ giving him more of an opportunity to play because he has produced. That ball's in the air to right. Pinder is there for out number 2. Reddick's now up to 75 at bats against lefties this year. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Max Stassi. Stassi 2 for 8 this season. 18 for 63 over the last 5 seasons in his major league career. Played each of the last 5 seasons, including this year. 13, 14, 15, 16. Limited at bats, just a total of 63, but getting an opportunity with Evan Gattis and Brian McCann currently on the DL. His brother Brock Stassi played with the Phillies earlier this year. Made his first major league opening day roster. Stassi ahead of the count, 2-0. Manaya's already gone deeper in this game than he did in any other start in August. This is his 4th start. That ball's hit hard to left. Back goes Joyce. Jumping catch at the track, and he knocks the scoreboard down for a couple of panels. Matt Joyce with a great leaping catch to end the inning as he robs Max Stassi. on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for just $3.99 for a limited time only. Nice game so far by Alex Bregman. A couple of strong defensive plays and also a home run to get the Astros going. Made a nice play on Ryan Healy his first time up as Healy leads off the 5th inning, taking a called strike. Healy now 1 for 9 in his career against Dallas Keuchel with 5 strikeouts, but he was robbed of a base hit last time by diming Alex Bregman. Dallas only with 55 pitches through 4. He's been anywhere between 11 and 17 pitches in all 4 innings. Pulls the string there. It's 1-2. We always talk about how Dallas and Brian McCann seem to be in sync out there. McCann catching the majority of Keuchel's starts. But Dallas seems to be getting the sign from the youngster Max Stassi. First time he's worked with him as a starter. And Stassi's putting down what Dallas wants apparently. Or Dallas is going with what the catcher suggests. He gets a soft ground ball towards Marwin. And Marwin makes the play. Another ground out. It's now 6 straight outs on the ground for Dallas Keuchel.
A lot of the scouting reports say that Stassi is a very good receiver, but I also want to give him credit for being a cerebral type guy, understanding what Dallas Keuchel has, what has been effective. He impresses me as a guy that's going to do his homework and maybe watch some video of past starts, but he's also going to talk to that guy right there and see what he's feeling best about and what he wants to do as far as going out and attacking a team that he has faced quite a bit over the last couple of years.
That ball is a curveball and it's crushed, but it's foul. Deep enough to be on the train tracks. But Chad Pinder well out in front of it, 0-1.
It's the wrong side of the tracks.
Nice. Pinder grounded out his first time up. Towards Bregman, another chance for Bregman off balance. The throw and the pick by Yuli. They continue to connect across the diamond. Bregman another nice play and Yuli as well.
Tell you what, Dallas Keuchel will be the first to admit that this is not going to get old. Just keep working him. Kid's in a good groove right now, down at third base with the footwork, and Yuli's doing a great job of anticipating the hop and picking him. It's nicely done.
5 assists so far in the game for Alex Bregman, and 3 of them have been well above average plays. Here's Matt Chapman. He was called while Dallas was about to deliver. Of the 14 outs tonight, 12 have been ground outs. 5 of them to Alex Bregman, 4 to the pitcher himself. There's a called strike. The only guy who's been retired other than a ground out or a strikeout is Matt Chapman. He popped up to Marwin Gonzalez his first time up. One and one to count. Dallas better than 2-to-1 ratio strikes to balls in this game. And he pulls the string again, gets Chapman out in front. It's 1-2. First ball hit to the outfield tonight for the Oakland A's is a ball off the scoreboard. Played quickly back in by Reddick, and Chapman has to hustle for a double. Now 24 of his 35 hits this year have been for extra bases.
He's been projected to be a guy that can drive the baseball all over the field. Got a little bit of a gift right here in a 2-strike count. The slider from Dallas Keuchel didn't bury it, kind of backed up over that inside corner, down and in. Credit Chapman for dropping the head on it, keeping it fair.
14 doubles to go along with 9 home runs and a chat with Jose Altuve. And a chat with Max Stassi and Dallas Keuchel as well. 2018 season tickets are now on sale. Fans who purchase season tickets can enjoy a lot of benefits like guaranteed priority access for the 2017 postseason. Visit Astros.com/season tickets for more info. After tonight, 40 games to go in the season, 20 at home, 20 on the road. It's going to be a fun final 6 weeks. Season will end 6 weeks from Sunday. Pitch in the dirt to Joyce, and Stassi and Keuchel had an extended conversation. Then Stassi came back to talk even more, and then on that first pitch to Joyce, out came Max again. So again, this is the first time they've worked together other than 1 inning in 2015 Stassi caught. So they're trying to make sure with a runner at second they have their signs down. First batter that Keuchel faced in that outing, Stassi came on in the 8th inning. Keuchel would pitch 8 innings and get the win in that game in September. First batter that Stassi caught was Aaron Hicks, and Hicks hit a home run against Keuchel. And then Dallas got the next 3 hitters. So it wasn't the best start ever between those two, but they've looked pretty good tonight. 2-1 to count to Joyce. On the ground, foul. Joyce had a bunt single his first time up. He bunted it right down the third base line with a shift in play. And up until that double by Matt Chapman, that was the only base runner of the game. Now the count's full. Keuchel's longest inning in terms of number of pitches. This will be his 18th pitch of the inning coming up. Towards Keuchel's corner.
Good pitch. Fastball kind of surprised Matt Joyce. He was late on it.
Joyce has been better as the season's gone along, as Stassi and Keuchel will visit again. First 54 games for Matt Joyce, a 194 batting average. Last 53, including tonight. 71 points better, 268. 72 points better. All 4. George draws a full count walk. So after 2 outs and nobody on, Keuchel working out of the stretch for one of the rare times tonight. And he walks Matt Joyce. That'll bring up Dustin Garneau. Garneau facing the Astros for the first time. Played with the Colorado Rockies earlier this year, as well as the 2015 and 16 seasons. And he chops one foul at the plate. Keuchel, who walked Joyce, that was his first walk allowed. He has 1 strikeout, 1 walk. 1 single, 1 double. Keuchel ahead of Garneau, 0-2.
I'm not saying Keuchel is pitching around Matt Joyce, but I don't think he was overly disappointed by putting him on. There's only certain pitchers that you can say that about, the upper echelon of guys that don't really have a panic mode. They're able to pitch to both sides of the plate, but I think Dallas Keuchel would much rather have this matchup, but I don't think he pitched into the matchup. Just in the sense we say an unintentional, intentional walk. He was going after Matt Joyce. Matt Joyce did a very good job of laying off some tough pitches, fighting off some tough pitches. But if Keuchel executes what he wants to right here, he should be able to get Garneau, get out of this inning.
Stays 1-2. Garneau was claimed on August 4th. So only been with his new team for a short amount of time. 2 weeks ago he was claimed. Hard hit, short hop by Marwin. Looked at second, throws to first in time. Dallas getting some nice defensive work behind them. Bregman and now Marwin.
Marwin getting in on the action. This is a little bit bigger spot with runners in scoring position. Showing off the cannon too.
Bottom half of the 5th inning. Astros lead 2-0. Couple of solo home runs in this game. Back-to-back shots by Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Altuve hit his to left field on a 2-0 pitch, and Bregman to right field on an 0-2 pitch. Jake Marisnick leads off this inning just like he did in that inning where Bregman and Altuve went back-to-back. Jake takes the ball. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Jake continues to put up better numbers at home this year, where he's batting .326 coming in. And 9 of his 14 home runs have been at Minute Maid Park. He fouls that one back. It's 1-1. inside from Manaea, 2-1. Manaea's walked 1 and struck out 2. Neither pitcher with many strikeouts tonight. Keuchel has 1, and Manaea with a couple. That's outside. Jake ahead of the count, 3-1.
Good eye on the changeup. You know that Jake is going to be hunting that fastball right now.
Count's full.
It's a good fastball in the outside corner against a guy who likes to yank the ball out of the ballpark.
On the ground towards second. Lowry is there, and there's 1 out in the 5th.
Special Kroger family 4-packs are available for $60 at Sunday home games, including this Sunday's game against the A's. For more info on Kroger Family Sundays, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Here's George Springer. Springer hit a bullet last time, but right at the third baseman Ryan Healy. Manaea has allowed 2 home runs tonight. That matches his career high for home runs allowed in a game. He's done it 9 different times now. But he's never had a game where he allowed 3 home runs, making his 47th overall career start. Run for Ryan Healy, couldn't quite get there. Springer down in the count, 1-2. Towards short, Simeon, and there's 2 outs.
Alex Bregman, previous AB, and Sean Manaea. Talked about Evan Gattis being the last guy to homer off him, and now it's Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. That was a good piece of hitting on a fastball away, not trying to do too much, get around it, yank it, just use that oppo power.
Bregman hit his first home run of the year in game number 38. It was the back end of a doubleheader against the Yankees. And since then, he has hit 14 home runs, pops this ball straight up. Third baseman Chapman puts it away for the final out. So that's now 7 of 8 retired by Manaea, and we are through 5 with the Astros leading 2-0.
powered by Kubota. Dallas Keuchel against the Oakland A's has been very good. The last 7 starts since 2015. 3-1, 1.39 ERA, and that sub-2 opponent batting average equals a sub-1 whip, which is very good. Dallas very comfortable facing these Oakland Athletics. No matter if they're right-handed, left-handed, has a very good fastball. We've seen a great changeup tonight to be effective against them through 5 so far.
27 strikeouts in those 4 starts combined against the A's. Tonight it's been mostly ground ball outs, as you can see. A season high 13 ground ball outs already as he starts Rajai Davis off with a strike. Davis has grounded out to either corner. He's grounded out to Alex Bregman and also to Yuli Gurriel. Down to the count here, 0-2 on the big swing.
Man, Rajai was trying to hit a 2-run homer with nobody on.
He's swinging out of his shoes against Keuchel, who has induced 14 ground balls for 13 outs. One of the hits, a Matt Joyce bunt. Foul tip caught by Stassi. There's the second strikeout for Dallas. Rajai Davis is now 0 for 17 in his career against Dallas Keuchel.
Kind of gutsy by Dallas. You see the big swing earlier from Rajai Davis, and Dallas Keuchel just comes right back after him on the inside corner with a fastball.
Here's Marcus Semien taking a pitch down low for a ball. Last year, a little more than a year ago, Keuchel faced the Rangers on August 5th. Got 20 ground balls for 18 outs and a 3-hit shutout. That was his career high for number of ground balls and ground ball outs. 20 and 18. Tonight he's at 14 and 13 as he pitches in the 6th. And he's ahead 1-2 on Marcus Semien. Ground to short. That is ground out number 14 as Marwin takes care of Semien for out number 2. Catch the deal of the season with Powerade Double Play Tuesdays. Get a pair of View Deck 2 tickets for every Tuesday home game for just $22. The offer is only valid at the Minute Maid Park box office. Visit astros.com/value for more info. Marwin gets another try. Everybody getting turns on the infield, but Jose Altuve. Marwin gets another assist, and Dallas with a strikeout and 2 more groundouts and a 1-2-3-6.
Astro, presented by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues tonight. Rule 5 pick, I see you, YU, and record holder. Short clues, right to the point. Go to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Let us know who you think this might be. Guys, back to you.
All right, Bart, thank you. Jose Altuve leads things off. Altuve crushes one but foul as he bids for his second consecutive home run.
Here's a look back at the second home run of the back-to-back of home runs for the Astros. That was an 0-2 count. Fastball up out of the plate. Kind of surprised Altuve, but still quick enough hands to get the barrel to it.
Altuve down once again in the count, 0-2. He hit the ball hard his first time up as well, lining out to the center fielder Rajai Davis. Altuve up to 19 home runs on the season. Last year hit a career best 24. It was really a couple of years ago when Altuve found that power stroke when he hit 15 home runs in 2015. Bumped that up to 24 last year. And he's at 19 this year with 40 games to play, a quarter of the season.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good, and he's not diminishing his average while doing this. If anything, his average has picked up over the last 3 years. No player has ever outright led either the American League or National League in hits for 4 consecutive seasons. Now Altuve trying to accomplish that this year. In the air to right, Pinder towards the line, makes the play. Altuve retired for the first out in the 6th. Back-to-back home runs didn't help Sean Manaea, but other than that, he's only allowed 2 other hits. He has walked a batter, only struck out a couple, but Astros haven't had a whole lot of traffic against Manaea on the bases tonight. Here is one of those other 2 hits. Other than the home runs, Yuli Gurriel with a sharp single his first time up, also flied to center field. Yuli continues to hit well this month, batting at over .350 in the month of August. Trying to get back towards that 300 plateau. Got there briefly. He's been primarily in the 290 to 300 range for the last month or 2. Manaea with a count of 1-1. Facing another lefty. They saw 2 of 4 lefties in the Arizona series. They will get back-to-back righties from the A's the next 2 games. There is a rocket to center field. We mentioned how consistent Yuli Gurriel is with exit velocity of 95 or more, one of the top 5 in baseball in that category. And he has some serious exit velocity on that single to center.
Yeah, he does. He likes to swing. Likes the fastball, and that one elevated. He picked it up nicely out of the hand of Manaea and drove it back up the middle.
Yuli with 2 of the 5 hits tonight. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez.
105.3 miles per hour off the bat of Yuli Gurriel.
That works. One thing watching Yuli too, and he's talked about the challenges of playing this long of a schedule because he's not used to that from his days in Cuba. And getting to the ballpark 4 hours, 5 hours before the game time, that wasn't how they showed up in Cuba. He'd show up about an hour before the game. And here he is in August, which if you're going to wear down at some point in the season, sometimes they call this the dog days of the baseball season, but he's hit very well in August. So he's figured out a way to acclimate himself in a hurry.
There's a lot of work in the offseason. But you also have to recognize, too, that you got to make the adjustments, whether it's in season, out of season. But it's been fun to watch. They've upgraded it.
I mean, other than losing track of the outs lately, he's been really sharp.
Yeah, as long as he's sharp at the plate.
Exactly.
Nobody scores on that fake third out. We're all good.
Marwin down to the count 0-2. Takes the pitch down and in. Marwin has popped up and struck out. Popped up just beyond the infield. Third baseman Matt Chapman is there for out number 2. Nye has been able to keep Marwin from getting extended. That delivery he has against righties, the ball really bears in on him.
It's that low 3/4 kind of crossfire. It's a good look at it. Usually the hitter will look right at the bill of the cap, and normally a normal standard pitcher will let go of it where that dot is, but he's well to the side of that.
He's 6'5", but his release point is about a foot lower than that.
Well, as a hitter, you're standing in the box, you're facing the pitcher, and the standard delivery is that up over the head. So you, as a hitter, you focus on the logo on the hat. You look at the A, in this case, on Manaea's hat. And usually it's pretty easy to move your eye just to the right and pick up the arm angle. He's a little bit different, where you've got to go a little bit lower and further to the right, so it's tough to pick that up immediately.
Bounces past the catcher. And going to second base will be Yuli Gurriel. That by Garneau. Pitch in the dirt. Now Reddick with a count of 2-0.
We talked about Stassi and Centeno getting used to some of these pitchers. Garneau's doing the same thing. Picked up off waivers, trying to adjust to some of these pitchers.
Inside, 3-0 to Reddick. The inning stays alive. Carlos Beltran will get an at-bat. Chris Hatcher warming up in the A's bullpen. Different looking bullpen than the last time we saw Oakland. Ryan Madsen and Sean Doolittle traded to the Nationals. There's a called strike to Josh. It's 3-1. Josh continues to hit well here at home. Coming in at .333, batting at Minute Maid Park. And a base hit towards right center field. Rounding third and scoring is Yuli Gurriel. Reddick, another hit against the lefty. He's 2 for 3 tonight, and the Astros lead 3-0.
Josh had a tough road trip, but he is happy to be back here in Minute Maid Park. Sees the ball extremely well here, putting together some great ABs. Got himself a mistake fastball up in the zone and hammers it in that right center field gap. 2 out lightning again for the Astros. Big RBI for Josh.
Dallas Keuchel putting up zeros on the other side, so Bob Melvin in a 3-0 game out to talk to his starter Sean Manaea. Manaea is at 94 pitches right now. This is the furthest he's gone for a while. We mentioned he had 3 really rough starts in the month of August. Melvin just out to give him a little chat, and he stays with his starter. Manaea will face Carlos Beltran. Beltran walked and flied out.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a little bit of a pep talk from Bob Melvin, saying you've only given up 3 runs, 6 hits. Try and get through this inning.
Beltran towards center field. Davis on the move, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Rajai Davis kind of planted his knee into the turf there as he went down, and that didn't feel so good. But Reddick with an RBI to give the Astros a 3-0 lead.
Three to nothing after another RBI for Josh Reddick. All right, let's answer our Chevy Stroll poll for you. We asked you to name your favorite picture of 1997. And even though Titanic really cleaned up at the Academy Awards that year, Good Will Hunting was the favorite among our viewers that answered. Thank everybody for participating. I personally loved LA Confidential. That was a great movie, but
how you like them apples?
Yeah.
Nice. It was close voting.
For 2 movies.
2 of them were up. I would have had a write-in vote.
I know.
Austin Powers.
There you go. Yeah, baby.
Man of mystery. International man of mystery. 1-1 the count to Chris Davis.
There were good movies out that year.
There were a lot of good flicks in '97. We are paying tribute to the 1997 National League Central Champion team all weekend long. Strozone tonight is filled up with fans wearing shirts with the 97 pennant on it. Tomorrow will be a special triple bobblehead featuring Mike Hampton, Craig Biggio, and Jeff Bagwell. There is the Strozone. That is as popular a place on Friday nights as you will find. And tonight they have all kinds of promotions. They have the Strozone, the Keuchel's Corner, a social media night, Budweiser happy hour, guys that crush the softball, the long haul bombers, and fireworks.
These guys are entertaining.
Fireworks will be set to the tracks of 1997 as well. Dallas with a count of 3-2. Fouled back off the bat of Chris Davis. Called third strike. Davis looking at a full count pitch at the knees, and Dallas picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Almost looks like Dallas going up and in, down and away. Chris Davis hoping that ball ended up below his knees, but it did not. Called third strike.
Jerry Lane has been pretty consistent with that low strike tonight, and that's helped out Dallas. He's been getting so many ground ball outs, 15 ground outs in this game of the 19 outs. Only one ball has been hit out of the infield. And that was the double by Matt Chapman. It's 1-0 to Ryan Healy. On the ground ball outs, Keuchel has 4 assists. Marwin has 5 assists. Bregman has 5 assists. Altuve doesn't have a ground ball hit to him yet. Dallas is falling behind Ryan Healy 3-0. It's his turn to get a ground ball.
It's almost looking like he's going to go over there and trade spots with Marwin to try and get a better chance at one.
There's a strike, 3-1. Altuve and Marwin not far apart in the shift.
Could trade places like Darno and Asdrubal Cabrera did up in New York about 15, 20 times.
And
oh, where are you, Hose?
a ground ball on the right side that finds its way into the outfield for just the 3rd hit of the night for the Oakland A's.
That guy's great. With the shift on, obviously Jose Altuve not available to make that play. Not really ripped that way, just kind of off the end of the bat from Healy. And Altuve realizing he missed his opportunity.
Count that bunt by Joyce, and then that ball against the shift. 2 of the 3 hits allowed by Dallas were opposite of where the shift was in place. Chris Davinsky starts to warm up for the Astros. Here's a ground ball towards Bregman. Bregman to Altuve. Can he get an assist? Yes, there it is. Double play turn. Dallas Keuchel gets 2 more outs on the ground. And the Astros get through the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time. And it's 3-0 Houston.
Seventh inning stretch and enjoying a 3-0 Astros lead over the A's. And let's name that Astro, presented by Honda for you. Remember the clues: Rule 5 pick, I see you, and record holder. Who is it? Marwin Gonzalez, who was a Rule 5 pick by the Red Sox in 11, broke up Yu Darvish's perfect game, and first 25 career home runs were solo shots. A lot of people on Twitter got this one right, guys. And boy, are we glad he's an Astro. This guy has rounded into a terrific, multi-dimensional player.
I couldn't agree more. Broke up Yu's perfect game. That was in 2013. How about I got this job in 2013. First game I get to call is here at Minute Maid Park. Yu Darvish's almost perfect game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was your first game?
I was happy, not happy.
Chris Hatcher, the new pitcher, takes over for Sean Manaea in the 7th. Marwin having himself a career year. Manaea goes 6 innings, pitched pretty well, 6 hits, 3 runs, a couple of solo home runs, struck out 2, walked 1. Pitch misses to Stassi. It's 2-0.
Hatcher's got a fastball around 95 miles an hour. Also cuts it 90 to 92. Has a slider and a split finger.
Hatcher acquired just 3 days ago. I'm sure he said all the right things, but you never want to go from the Los Angeles Dodgers to any team this season, and he went from the Dodgers to the Oakland A's for international slot money. He is now pitching his 2nd game with Oakland, and it's a 3-1 count to Max Stassi.
Well, if he was a good enough teammate in that clubhouse, he might get a playoff share.
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, he's been there all year.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to. That's another reason why you don't want to make anybody mad.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to the end of the season, they vote on those playoff shares. They're going to go, who was that guy?
85-34, and they're winning tonight in the 8th inning in Detroit, 7-4. The Dodgers having one of those years. They say they're not concerned with the 116 win total, which is the all-time record. But they're headed in that direction. Ball in the center. Rajai Davis is there. Max Stassi now 0 for 3 as he flies out to center to start the 7th.
It doesn't look like the Dodgers are concerned about much more than just beating everybody they play against.
85-34.
Almost doesn't compute.
Really doesn't. For a while there, the Astros had the best record in baseball. Dodgers kept closing in, and they passed Houston. They kept the gas pedal down because they have not looked back. Here's Jake Marisnick. Astros still with the best record in the American League. You just saw the overall totals. Boston is 4.5 back as we start tonight's play. Red Sox playing at home against the Yankees. Boston was winning 3-0 in that game. Yankees scored 2 in the 6th. Cleveland and the Yankees also more than 65 wins. Towards third, Chapman makes the play. Yankees have taken the lead in that game against Boston in the 7th inning. They put up a 4 spot in the 7th against the Red Sox. So it's now 6-3 Yankees at Fenway. Here's Springer, 2 outs, nobody on. It would be nice if that final series in Boston does not mean anything for the Astros in terms of locking up the first seed. Finish up the year with a 3-game weekend series at Fenway. Final 2 days of September and the first day of October. And if the Astros have already wrapped up the AL West and the #1 seed overall, they can line things up exactly the way they want to, getting ready for postseason baseball. Still a long way to go between now and then. 6 weeks in a day, or 6 weeks and 2 days. There's a pitch in the dirt. It's 1-1.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
But it's fun to think about.
Yes.
AJ talked about how these final 6 weeks are going to be so much fun that his team has an opportunity to do things that are going to create memories for a long time. He still says nothing has been decided, but certainly you like their chances where they stand. 1-1 pitch is fouled, and that caught the umpire, Jerry Lane. May have caught him near the hand or the wrist.
It's not good. Jerry's been around for a while. One of the more affable umpires. But down, ricocheted up off the shin guard and caught that left hand. Hopefully just a stinger. I don't think it's going to take him out of the game, but worth a look.
Caught him in two spots. First the left leg, and then it ricocheted up and caught him right on the wrist.
Well, anytime an umpire bails from the group and sprints into the clubhouse means he's going to be changing gear.
Jerry Lane in some pain. He took that one off the wrist, and he's going to leave this game. Well, the crew chief taking a foul ball off the left wrist. Jeremiah Randall, head athletic trainer for the Astros, will assist him towards the umpire's room. And we will wait to get a new home plate umpire.
Well, the only good thing is that he has to go in there, change, put on the gear. He doesn't have to get loose.
3-0 game. We're in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Take a quick break and come back and reset when we get the new home plate umpire. The 7th inning, we await a new home plate umpire after Jerry Lane took a foul ball off his wrist. Lace up your shoes for the annual Badges and Bases run. That is presented by Chenier on September 30th. Minute Maid Park, the site for the annual Badges and Bases run. Each racer gets a commemorative t-shirt and a photo op at home plate. Register today at astros.com/run. It was Dan Bellino, the second base umpire, who headed in to get his gear to get behind home plate. So we will work with a 3-man crew the rest of the way, and we wish the best for Jerry Lane as he left the game after a George Springer foul ball caught him in the leg and then the wrist in this 3-0 contest. Chris Hatcher just coming out of the bullpen. Retired Max Stassi and Jake Marisnick. Honoring the 97 NL Central Division champions during the weekend. We were glad to have Shane Reynolds on earlier tonight. What a year it was for those two, the Hall of Famers. Bagwell and Biggio in '97.
Just doing what Hall of Famers do. 30-30 year for Jeff Bagwell, and then some on the home run side. 109 runs scored, 146 for Craig Biggio. My goodness. Obviously hitting in front of Jeff Bagwell is beneficial.
I think the game's played total.
Those guys knew how to do it. They're doing it on the AstroTurf for many years in the Astrodome. Not easy to do.
Ground ball, Gutierrez.
They're clinching out in 1997.
And that is the triple bobblehead you will see tomorrow. That celebration with Biggio and Bagwell with the leaping embrace, and Hampton right there to celebrate as well. First of 3 in a row, 97, 98, 99. They also won the Central in 2001, a 4 out of 5 year run for the Houston Astros. It all started 20 years ago as we celebrate the 97 NL Central champions. We had Shane Reynolds on tomorrow. We're anticipating hearing from the manager, Larry Dierker, on our broadcast tomorrow. And you heard Shane give Dirk a lot of credit for the way he told his starters, I'm not coming to get you. If you're struggling, figure it out.
Dierker was one of those old school guys. Nobody came and bailed him out. He had to pitch his way out of trouble, and that's a nice attribute to have and to learn.
So we'll restart this game with a count of 1-2 on George Springer. Dan Bellino will now be the umpire behind the plate. Estabrook and Ryan Addington will be on the bases. George gets right back in the swing of things, so to speak, as he fouls one away. 30,908 in attendance tonight. Good Friday night crowd yet again. Astros have averaged over 30,000 for the season. Ground ball towards short. Simeon is there. And his throw is in time. So Hatcher with a 1-2-3 inning out of the A's bullpen. It's still Astros 3 and the A's nothing.
Promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Alex Bregman is having himself a night. Very active at the hot corner with Dallas Keuchel throwing ground balls. Doing a good job, getting great jumps. The footwork has been very nice. He's been able to show off that arm. When he's been on target, it's been easy for Yuli Gurriel, but there's been a couple times he's needed his good friend to pick him up, and he has. But moving to the left nicely, moving to the right even better. Good night for Alex, keeping on his toes.
6 assists with Dallas Keuchel in there. Keuchel induced 17 groundouts in his 7 innings of work. Good to see Dallas put back-to-back strong outings together, going 7 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball. Matt Chapman with a foul tip as he faces Chris Davinsky, the first batter for Devo.
Some of the numbers for Devo, trying to work back into form. Used to being very effective early on in the season. Here in the last 4 games, he's walked 5 hitters.
That's very unusual for Chris Davinsky. Usually he is ahead of hitters and a rare walk here and there, but not more than 1 per appearance as it has been lately. But he's ahead here 1 and 2 on Chapman. Astros record for assists by a third baseman is 8. Bregman can tie that with a couple of ground balls the rest of the way. That pitch misses inside. It's Chapman, Matt Joyce, and Dustin Garneau, the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the A's lineup. Change up, an accidental foul ball at the plate. Stays 2 and 2. Keuchel follows up 6 2/3 innings of 1-run baseball in Texas with a 7-inning 3-hit shutout performance tonight.
Yeah, truly impressive. Not as impressive as those hats, but a very good night for Dallas Keuchel. Obviously, we've talked plenty about how much he loves pitching here at home, but to be able to back up that start that he had in Texas with the one he's had here is a good sign for the Astros moving forward.
Looking like the old pitcher of the month in April that we saw early in the season as we get a ground out from Chapman to Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin has 6 assists tonight, like Alex Bregman, and there's 1 away in the 8th. Here's Matt Joyce. Joyce, the only guy that reached a couple of times against Dallas. Bunt single his first time up, and also drew a walk his last time. Coming into tonight, the Astros were averaging 30,899. They almost hit that average on the number tonight with the 30,908. Devo misses inside. It's 2-0.
Been that changeup command early on in the season. We actually saw him be able to throw that for a strike consistently and then throw the nasty one. Obviously, the COD with 2 strikes, but falling behind puts him into those fastball counts. That's what makes it tough when you're trying to fight from behind if you're a pitcher.
There's 1 for a strike that you were just talking about.
Well, it's not going to keep him from throwing it. He's going to continue to try and throw it. It's just good to see that he can get it in there, and what that's going to do, hopefully for Chris Davinsky, is build that confidence. That's the nasty one.
Joyce doesn't chase, and now the count's full.
And later in the season, with teams adjusting to Chris Davinsky, he's trying to mix up that sequence and adjust to the hitters.
In the air to right, pretty well hit. Springer looking, and this ball is gone. Off the facade of the second deck, Matt Joyce hits his 18th home run of the season. As the A's break the shutout, it's now a 3-1 game.
It's all about location. That was not a well-located fastball. Stassi setting up down and away in that down and in spot. Basically a reactionary swing by the hitter.
Well, Joyce has been on base 3 times, has 2 of the 4 hits for the A's, and now accounts for the lone run with that solo shot. His Brent Strom comes out to talk to Chris Davinsky. A's will counter with a pinch hitter here against Davinsky. Bruce Maxwell will pinch hit for Dustin Garneau as Ken Giles starts to loosen up.
Devo usually pretty effective against left-handed hitters with that changeup.
Misses down and in. It's 1-0.
And even as good as guys can be in the big leagues, the game will humble you, number one. But it can also scare you a little bit. Shake that confidence. Next thing you know, you're trying to do too much and start missing the zone, falling behind on guys, trying to create outs. Game's not that easy. It's a constant adjustment.
Lefty's hitting just 106 against Davinsky coming into tonight. But as dominant as Chris was going into the All-Star break, it hasn't been quite as smooth coming out of the All-Star break. Maxwell pows one away. Evens up the count at 2 apiece. We've seen Giles now a couple of times in the last 2 Dallas Keuchel starts get warm in the 8th inning. A.J. Hinch not afraid to go to Giles for a multiple inning save as he did in Arlington, as Davinsky allows a little flare double down the left field line to Maxwell. Actually, he's going to be held to a single as Reddick gets it back in quickly. Great play by Josh on a ball that was down the line and headed towards the corner. Maxwell held to a single.
That was pretty good. From our vantage point, he just disappeared. We just assumed that Maxwell was going to find his way in there. It was a good job of staying on that changeup. Nice bare hand off the bounce of the wall and fired it back in. Bruce Maxwell is not the fleetest of foot, but he's also an understanding of your speed and the ability of that guy to throw.
We'll get back-to-back pinch hitters here with Keuchel out of the game. Matt Olson will get a pinch hit appearance for Rajai Davis. Tying run at the plate in this 3-1 game. Olson takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Back-to-back hits from left-hand hitters, and now a little meeting at the mound. In fact, A.J. Hinch is going to come out and talk to Davinsky. Don't usually see A.J. come out in the middle of a count.
He's going to the bullpen. He just pointed to the bullpen.
A 1-0 count, and this A.J. just wanted Giles to get another warm-up pitcher too. He is going to go to Ken Giles with 1 out in the 8th inning. Giles picked up his first save of his career of more than 4 outs in Dallas Keuchel's last start, and now it looks like he's going to ask Giles to get the final 5 outs tonight. On comes Giles in a 3-1 game. Back with more. 8th inning, A.J. Hinch taking Chris Davinsky out of this game with a 1-0 count, and he's going to go to Ken Giles for a multi-inning save yet again.
Used him for a multi-inning save earlier to get him to 23. Kind of an interesting situation for him to come in, but he has 3 saves and 3 attempts against the Oakland A's this season. Last time we saw Ken Giles out there, he shut down the Arizona Diamondbacks going an inning, punched out 1 through 6 pitches.
That would be an interesting one to ask or to hear about in AJ's press conference afterwards, because he usually loves Chris Davinsky on left-hand hitters.
Yeah.
And the lefty up there with a 1-0 count, and now Giles misses outside. It's 2-0.
I've got to be honest, I anticipated, I know that it was the second visit that inning, so he had to go because Brent Strom just came out talking to him. But if that weren't the case, I was anticipating a little bit of a father-son conversation saying, hey, you've got good enough stuff to get going. But so quickly after Brent Strom had just come out there, and it looked like AJ was on a little bit of a mission.
Yeah, unusual in 2 cases. The fact that it was a 1-0 count, middle of a batter, we haven't seen that. And then the fact that it was Davinsky versus a lefty, and against lefties this year coming in at 106. But Ken Giles picked up 6 outs in Dallas Keuchel's last win. Tonight looks like he's going to be asked for 5 outs. And a strike on the corner. It's 2-2. Olsen 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year, batting .213 on the season. Does have 8 home runs in 80 at bats.
In recent outings for Ken Giles, we have seen the velocity pretty consistent, 97 plus. The location's been a lot better on that fastball, and we've seen some good sliders.
Missed the corner, and now the count runs full.
Getting a lot of questions on Twitter about the ability to go to the bullpen mid-AB. There's nothing that locks the pitcher into facing that hitter for the entirety of the at-bat. Pitching, I mean, the manager can come out and make that pitching change anytime they want. But it will be interesting. I agree with you in the sense that the question is going to be after the game, why the move in a 1-0 count with Chris Davinsky out there.
And a lefty hitting.
Yes.
That's usually when AJ talks about his big weapons against left-hand hitters, he always mentions Will Harris, who's on the DL right now, and he always mentions Chris Davinsky. But Devo allowed a home run to Matt Joyce, left-hand hitter, then a base hit by Bruce Maxwell, also a lefty. Ground ball right side. Altuve flips to Bregman. Giles gets the double play. Altuve to Bregman to Gurriel.
Altuve finally getting in on the action, gets himself a ground ball, flips it over to Alex Bregman, who has plenty of experience making that turn. Astros make it easy and pick up Devo and get him out of this inning.
To the bottom half of the 8th inning, 2, 3, and 4 due up. A chance to give a little breathing room to this Astros 2-run lead as the defensive changes for the A's to start the inning. After pinch hitting, both Bruce Maxwell and Matt Olson stay in the game. Maxwell behind the plate. Olson goes to right, and moving from right to center field is Chad Pinder. Here is Alex Bregman, 1 for 3 with an opposite field home run. That came in his second at bat. Hatcher on the mound for his second inning of work, misses upstairs to Bregman. 1-0. A's coming off a series in which they lost 2 out of 3 at home. Had the off day yesterday and flew into Houston on the off day, so they have a pretty rested bullpen. The Astros, of course, played all 4 days this week against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bregman with his 14th home run, preceding a Jose Altuve home run as the Astros hit back-to-back home runs for the 8th time this year.
Equipment malfunction. Hate to see that.
Ground, nice play by the third baseman Chapman, and he makes the play over to first. Hit hard by Bregman, but he's out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Getting a taste of his own medicine too. Been playing a good third base all night. Now he has the favor returned on him, but Matt Chapman moving well to his left. Good play by the young third baseman.
That'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve, like Bregman, coming into this at bat 1 for 3 with that home run, his second at bat. Altuve with 49 multi-hit games coming into tonight. Grounds one foul. It's 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Astros scored 2 in the 3rd against Sean Manaea, adding a run in the 6th on an RBI base hit by Josh Reddick. Up the middle, there is another multi-hit game for Jose Altuve. That's now 50 on the season. He's a 1-out base runner in the 8th.
Really seen Altuve in this ball game. The foot gets down, you can see there's just a slight little hesitation. When the foot gets down, the hands stay back, the eyes recognize, and then he fires. It's a great look. The foot gets down, there's just a little hesitation as his eyes pick up where that baseball is going to be, and then he gets the barrel to it as well as anybody in the league.
Altuve checked at first. He has 26 steals this year. Astros would love to tack on another run. Ken Giles, who had never had a save of longer than an inning and a third before Sunday, looking for his second save of more than 4 outs since then. One on Sunday, and now trying to get another one in Dallas Keuchel's next start.
It's kind of nice when the defense picks you up, getting 2 outs on one play. That helps.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. When he picked up the 2-inning save in Arlington, he got 3 outs on 3 pitches in the 8th.
That's economizing right there.
One of them was a double play that helped. 1-1 the count on Yuli. Yuli with a couple hits tonight, also scored a run. The next closest in multi-hit games in the American League is Jose Abreu. He has 44. Altuve now with 50. Altuve and the A's Rajai Davis are both tied with 26 steals. Good for second in the American League. Rod Dyson has 28 to lead the way. Bounces one foul. Towards third, and they make the play across. Altuve advances to second. Make sure to sign up your kids to be an Astros Buddy member for just $25. Members get an exclusive Astros backpack, socks, cap, and ticket vouchers for an Astros home game. Visit astros.com/buddies to buy your membership now. Runner on second, 2 outs. Marwin Gonzalez the batter. He's popped up a couple of times and struck out. Marwin getting a chance to bat left-handed for the first time. Has been his more productive side this year. Pitch from Hatcher misses down and away. 1-0.
Would be nice to tack on this run. Let's give a little more of a cushion for Ken Giles.
Looking ahead to the A's 9th inning, they have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Chris Davis is their 4-hitter, sitting with 33 home runs on the season. In Titus 2-0. Marwin last year, 13 home runs and 51 runs batted in. That had been his career best until this season. He's at 20-69 this year. Altuve on the move to third, and he will get there. Altuve with stolen base number 27 on the year to match his number. He's now second in the American League.
2-0 count. He decides to run. Sometimes you can catch those guys sleeping a little bit. It's tough for that third baseman Chapman to cover, also with the left-handed hitter Marwin Gonzalez. A lot of movement over there. Don't get too far away from third.
Yeah. 3-0 green light. Marwin pops one up. Foul territory, drifting towards the dugout, but playable as Healy puts it away for the final out. So the Astros take a 3-1 lead into the ninth. AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Game summary tonight. A couple of home runs got the Astros going.
It was good to see. First one was Alex Bregman, and then it was Jose Altuve launching the two back-to-back home runs, and then it's Dallas Keuchel getting back to vintage Keuchel here at Minute Maid Park. A lot of ground balls. Great defense on the corner from Alex Bregman. Pitcher's best friend is that double play ball. Nice to see these Astros trying to fight their way back into those winning ways, getting healthy and getting solid pitching.
On to the ninth. Ken Giles picked up a big double play to end the eighth inning, as he'll face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters Marcus Semien, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis. This is on the first pitch to Semien, 1-0. Fastball away, 2-0. Two balls and a strike. Semien 0 for 3 against Dallas Keuchel. Grounded out all 3 times. Keuchel ended up getting 17 ground ball outs of the 21 he recorded tonight. In the air, foul and out of play. It's 2-2. Actually hit a beam up there and came back into fair territory. Semien has faced Giles 3 times in his career, has struck out twice, does have a home run. Stays 2-2. Astros trying to improve to 2-1 on this homestand. Trying to win their 75th game of the season. He got him. Tagged by Stassi for the first out. Semien goes down chasing a slider for out number 1.
Good job by Ken Giles. Previous slider, Semien took a pretty good pass at it. This one, he really buried it and got the chase. Keeping it down. Semien swings over the top, but an excellent job by Max Stassi keeping it in the vicinity also to make sure of the out. Get an idea of how A.J. Hinch feels about going out and getting W's right now, using his closer first game of the series for a multi-inning multi-inning save. Depending on the pitch count, makes you wonder how quickly he's going to be able to bounce back, whether it be tomorrow or a Sunday day game.
I agree with you. When you go back to the last time when he used Giles, that felt like a game that the Astros had to win.
Yes.
Keuchel pitched well. They led the Rangers. Close game late. So he used Giles for 2 innings in that game. This game coming in didn't quite have the same sense of urgency, but here he is going to Ken Giles in a 1-0 count with a tying run at the plate and needing 5 outs. He got the double play from Giles to end the 8th, and now Ken ahead of Jed Lowry 0-2 after striking out Semien. His pitch count is so far so good. 11 strikes, 4 balls, 15 total pitches. There's the 5th one out of the zone. It's 1-2. Giles currently 7th in the American League in saves.
And I believe earlier in the year we've heard A.J. Hinch say that if he uses a guy for multiple innings out of the bullpen, he usually gives him those multiple days off. But the depending on the pitch count, because even at 17 pitches for Ken Giles right now isn't excessive. It's getting in that gray area when you get over 20 pitches is where you start to feel a little bit of concern for a guy like Ken Giles, who's not accustomed to, number one, going multiple innings, but back-to-back outings of a couple innings.
He had Giles warming up in yesterday's game. Ended up bringing James Hoyt into that contest. Ball is ripped just foul down the right field line. Giles did pitch Wednesday night, so this is 2 out of 3. With getting heated in yesterday's game, so I would think after today that Giles, with multiple innings, would probably have tomorrow off.
Yes.
One and two the count.
Peacock pitching tomorrow. He's a guy that has all kinds of run support.
Peacock not till Sunday. Tomorrow's Colin McHugh.
I'm just saying. Usually when Peacock starts, they score a ton of runs. You don't need that back end of the bullpen. But right here, some very good location on the fastballs and sliders from Ken Giles to get a tough out from Jed Lowry.
That sequencing of pitches, you could see they were all down at the knees, and Lowry didn't like the call, but that had plenty of plate and was high enough. So now after 2 strikeouts, Giles facing Chris Davis the way you want it, with the bases empty. Davis with those 33 home runs, always a threat, and he fouls one away, 0-1.
Yeah, but you like having him as a threat with nobody on, that's for sure.
You can see his numbers against Giles, advantage Astros closer. Oh, 2 with 2 outs in a 3-1 game in the ninth. 30,908 standing. He got him. Giles strikes out the side and saves this game for Dallas Keuchel as the Astros beat the A's in the first game of this weekend series by the final score of 3-1.
Phenomenal outing from Ken Giles to seal the deal for the Houston Astros. That last pitch, absolutely filthy, down in the zone, punch out when he needed it to finish this thing off for the Houston Astros. Nicely done. It's nice when you accomplish what you set out to do, isn't it?
Giles strikes out all 3 in the ninth inning. It was a game in which no Astro outfielder had a putout.
Time now for our play of the game. It's presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It is Dallas Keuchel. He only had 3 runs in support, so he had to go out there and do a lot of the work himself, and he did. A couple of comebackers, making a good play, knocking it down, not panicking, making a good, strong throw. Fielding it like a Gold Glover should. And he went to the changeup, down and away for a punch out. Also got a little help from his friends behind him. Heck of a job on the corners by Alex Bregman and Yuli Gurriel on the pickup. But a vintage Dallas Keuchel game. Big win for the Astros to start this series against the Oakland A's.
Dallas looks like he is back, and that is nice to be able to say that. 3-1 Astros win. We'll have more, including the post-game show, right around the corner.